Hello, and welcome to the Torah Outreach Program, Erev Shabbos, Burst of Inspiration. This week's inspiration is again dedicated to two very special soldiers in the IDF, Yoel Eliyahu ben Devorah Velya and Eliezer ben Devorah Velya. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should protect them and together with all the soldiers and return our hostages safely. Last week, we talked about the idea how the world is very much a facade. It's just a scary place and it's dark. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, it's all me. Just turn on the lights. This week, Klal Yisrael, the Jewish people, see this up front and personal. They get their own personal lesson in this. And that is Kriyas Yam Suf. They get up to the Yam Suf. The Egyptians are coming down on them with all their might and all their fury. To the left of them are mountains. To the right of them are mountains. And in front of them is a sea. And Moshe, they complain to Moshe, and Moshe davens. Hashem says, don't daven now. Just have absolute faith in me and go. And that's what they did. The sea split, the ground was dried, and they went through comfortably while the Egyptians behind them were drowned. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was saying, it's all a facade. Just have absolute faith in me and do what you have to do. Immediately after the lesson of Kriyas Yam Suf, the Jewish people complained. And they said, there's no water. You brought us here to die. We're all going to die of thirst. Hashem told Moshe to take a bitter plant, bitter stick, and throw it into the bitter water, and thereby making it sweet. To show, Yesh Mayayin, Hashem is the only one who can change nothing. Bitter plus bitter does not make sweet. He did nothing to the water, so to speak. He went through the efforts. He did his personal effort. He made his ishtadlus. He did the verb. But the noun, the sweet water, came because HaKadosh Baruch Hu now wanted it to turn sweet, to teach the Jewish people a lesson. Again, He's in charge. Everything is a facade. Sweet, bitter. It's all up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We have to go through the motions. Immediately after that, though, Moshe taught the Jewish people Chukim u'mishpatim, certain laws and certain statutes. Mishpatim means laws that you can understand. Laws between people, how to get along, how to do business. Laws that they needed to learn in order to be a community that was traveling through the desert. They weren't going to get a Torah for another month and a half. But another law that they learned were the laws and the concepts of Shabbos. Why did they need that before getting the Torah? Back to what we said last week. What is Shabbos? Shabbos is a day that we recognize Ein Od Milvado. There is nothing else. There is no other power. There is nothing else that can control us. There's nothing else that can help us. There's nothing else that can harm us. Only HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's all there is. The lesson that they were taught right after Kriyas Yam Suf, right after showing that the Red Sea is a facade and the Egyptians are a facade. And it's all Ein Od Milvado. It's all just HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're taught this lesson, again, every single Shabbos. There's a great story about this. that explains the concept. Jewish farmer sitting on a porch, enjoying learning Gemara, learning the Talmud, Chumash, the Torah, whatever it is, having a glass of lemonade, sitting and relaxing on a Shabbos afternoon, in the middle of a heat wave. A non-Jewish farmer who lives right near him sees him sitting there and he says, "Are you crazy? You have to go cover your tomatoes or they're going to rot. You have to turn on your faucets, your sprinklers, or else there's not enough water. They're going to rot in the field. How can you just sit there?" And the Jewish farmer says to his non-Jewish neighbor, "It's hard for me to explain this to you, and it's hard for you to understand this. But today, it doesn't make a difference whether I cover my tomatoes or I don't cover my tomatoes, whether I water the ground or I don't water the ground. If Hashem wants those tomatoes to rot in the field, they will rot no matter what. If Hashem wants those tomatoes to survive, they will survive no matter what." Shabbos, the one day a week that we light the candles, we remove the darkness, and we see the truth, and that is Ein Od Milvado, no one else to fear except for HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself. He's the one in control, and everything is a facade.